Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we're diving into a really wonderful classic fable to discover the ultimate secret of getting amazing results without just, well, completely tiring yourself out. We hear a lot about the value of hard work, but is simply working hard enough? Or is there a missing ingredient? Let's find out. First, I want you to think about a time you tried your absolute hardest. Maybe it was building a giant science fair volcano or finally cleaning up your entire bedroom. You put in tons of effort, you sweat, you tired yourself out, but at the end of the day, the volcano didn't erupt or your room somehow still looks totally messy. It just didn't go the way you hoped. It can be super frustrating, right? Well, our story today is about exactly that feeling.
Section 1. Two farmers, one village. Meet Raza and Kamil. These two farmers lived in a beautiful little village nestled between rolling green hills. They had the exact same starting point, equal plots of land, same soil, same weather, and the exact same goal of growing a giant harvest. It's kind of like two students sitting down in the exact same classroom to do the same homework assignment. But even though they started with equal land, their approaches couldn't have been more different. On one side, we've got Raza, who relies entirely on physical effort, and on the other, Kamil, who's all about observation and planning.
Let's look at Raza first. He believed in hard work, and literally only hard work. You know that feeling when you rush right into a test without even reading the instructions? That was Raza. Every single morning, before the sun even came up, he was out there pushing himself, carrying incredibly heavy buckets of water from the river one by one, walking back and forth in the burning heat, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week.
The villagers saw all this and actually gave him a superhero nickname. They called him the Iron Man because his back was always bent over the dirt, his hands were rough, and he literally never stopped moving. Sounds impressive, right? But sadly, at the end of the season, the results just didn't match the effort. He was totally exhausted, half his seeds hadn't even grown, and his soil was still super dry in patches.
Section 2. Kamil works smart first. Planning for success.
Now, Kamil also worked hard, don't get me wrong, but he put his brain to work before he put his muscles to work. Instead of rushing in blindly like Raza, Kamil followed a super simple 3-step plan. First, he spent 3 whole days just looking at his land, studying where the sunlight hit the ground. That's exactly like reading the grading rubric before you start a school project. Second, he asked an older, wiser farmer for advice on the best seeds. Always ask your teachers or parents for help when you need it. And third, he took 2 days to build a small channel from the river straight to his fields.
And check out the result. Because he took the time to build that channel, the river watered his crops automatically every single morning. He basically built a helpful robot to do his chores. This completely saved him from ever having to carry those crazy heavy water buckets back and forth like Raza did. Kamil still worked long hours, sure, but all his energy was going into things that actually mattered.
Section 3. The Big Harvest Surprise. Who grew more? When the end of the season finally rolled around, kind of like report card time for our farmers, who do you think grew more food? The guy carrying buckets for 16 hours a day, or the guy who planned it out? Well, the results were staggering. Kamil's crops were exactly 3 times better than Raza's. 3 times! While Raza just scraped by, Kamil brought in a massive, overflowing bounty. Seeing this left poor Raza totally exhausted, incredibly confused, and wondering exactly where he went wrong.
Section 4. Running the wrong way. The secret revealed. Swallowing his pride, Raza walked over to Kamil one evening and asked, "Brother, I worked harder than anyone in this village. Why is your harvest so much bigger?" Kamil smiled kindly and told him something that is the absolute crucial point of our whole story. He said, "Hard work without direction is like running fast in the wrong direction." Think about that for a second. Imagine playing a game of tag at recess or running a big race. You might be the absolute fastest runner in your entire school, but if you're running away from the finish line, no matter how fast your legs move, you just end up further away from winning. Doing a math worksheet really fast doesn't help at all if you're using the wrong formula. He kindly explained the difference. He told Raza, "You used your physical strength to carry the water. I used my mind to bring the water right to me. Your brain is literally the strongest muscle you have. If you use it first, it saves the rest of your body a whole lot of trouble." Section 5. How to work smart. The new plan.
Raza didn't get mad. Instead, he showed an awesome growth mindset and asked Kamil to teach him. So the very next season, Raza developed what I like to call these 3 new superpowers. Number 1, observe before acting. Look at your assignment before you start writing. Number 2, plan before planting. Gather your cleaning supplies before you tackle that messy room. And number 3, which is so important, Rest when your body needs rest. Yep, sleeping and resting actually help you work smarter because it keeps your brain sharp and ready to solve problems.
Because Raza learned to make sure every single hour of his hard work had a clear purpose, something amazing happened. He still worked hard, harder than most people. But that season, both men had a fantastic giant harvest.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want you to think about your own life, your homework, your chores, or your sports. Next time you have a big task in front of you, are you just going to rush in blindly and run fast in the wrong direction? Or will you stop, take a breath, and use your smarts to plan your path to success first? Work hard? Absolutely, but always remember to work smart first. Thanks so much for learning with me today.